Hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Wing Diamonds. I am here today with a WIP in chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my week. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I'm just going to give you guys a little heads up, and of course I'll be talking about this during this WIP in chat, but we did get our puppy over the weekend. So things are a little chaotic. I might have to talk to him during this video, might have to pause a couple times if he needs to go out or something. Who knows? But yeah, so just keep in mind you might hear little puppy noises and grunts and stuff. He's really cute, so it's adorable. Right, Zero? Okay, so, oh, I'm sweating. Okay, I am working on Cauldron of Mer from Diamond Art Club, and the piece is by Ivy Dolamore. I got hiccups now. And what I'm working with, I got my Galaxy Black cat-proof diamond painting tray. I have two cover minders. I have a trash minder from Mermaid Cavern and this adorable little cover minder from Mad for Minders. I am using my Rainbow Kaleidoscope pen from Enabler's Outpost. And then the washi tape is some Simply Gilded washi tape, which I'm sure you could guess if you know Simply Gilded. And then of course I'm using my Elizabeth Ward storage containers. So let's see, what do I want to start with? Let's do this big chunk of skin tone. How's everybody doing? My life has been chaos, just pure chaos, because I don't know why I thought having a toddler and a baby was a good idea. Or a toddler and a puppy. Oh, no babies, we're good. But yeah, my life's been kind of pure chaos over the last couple days, but I will get to that. So yeah, I don't remember much of what happened last week. Most of my exciting stuff happened to me this week, so I'll try to remember. Because yeah, I think I recorded on Wednesday. I feel like Thursday was just kind of a normal day because I was home with the baby all day while my fiance was in the office. So that was mostly just a Sydney day. And then yeah, so we're hanging out on Friday, and I get a text from the woman we purchased the puppy from, and she's like, well, the puppies are actually able to go sooner rather than later. You can come get him this weekend if you want to. And we're like, oh, that'd be awesome. And so we're like, okay, can we come out on Sunday this weekend and come get him? And then she's like, oh yeah, of course. And so we planned it out perfectly. Like, we ended up having to take like it was like a 2-hour, what are you doing? Okay. He's just sitting there staring at me. It ended up being a 2-hour drive. Hey, don't eat that. Ended up being a 2-hour drive there and back. Or there and then 2-hour drive back. I don't know how to phrase that properly. So, yeah, we spent a good like 5 hours. Or, well, we left the house at noon and got home at like 6, but the plan was like, we're like, okay, well, we can aim for early afternoon to get out there because, you know, it is a 2-hour drive for us. And then I was like, and then we'll get home in time for the boys and be able to surprise them. So like we're really excited about that plan. And it's funny because this weekend was just supposed to be like a relaxing weekend for us, but it ended up not being that because we ended up taking the drive and we ended up going to the zoo on Saturday. So yeah, Friday I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna lounge around, I'm gonna diamond paint, and I'm just gonna relax. And so that's what we did that's what we did on Friday night. And then Saturday, hey, don't chew on that. Zero. You can look at me all cute as you want, you're not chewing on baby toys. Speaking of baby, did she actually fall asleep? Well, hopefully. Juggling everything. Okay. So yeah, Saturday we ended up going to the zoo with because my cousin was in town. And they're like, hey, we want to go to the zoo and stuff. And it was Sydney's first trip to the zoo, which was funny because my mom was like not going to go at first. And then she's like, well, are you guys going? I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Sydney's first trip. And she's like, okay, I guess I am going. But it turned out being a lot of fun, because like Our zoo recently went under a lot of construction and stuff like that, and so they've added in a bunch of exhibits. They changed a bunch of things from like the last time my mom's been there. So she was able to see all the changes, and like they added in giraffes, which are her favorite animals and stuff. So it was really cool. And then it was really fun trying to get Sydney to like look at the animals and stuff like that. She was like most enthralled by the sea lions because they're always swimming around in their tank and going crazy and stuff. And at our zoo, they have like this little building you can go in that's like where you can see underwater of their exhibit. We can see underwater of their exhibit and the polar bear. And so we did that, and we got Sydney up close to the window there, and she just watched them swimming by her and stuff like that. And it was really cool. And of course, my fiance got a few good photos that I didn't even realize he was taking. Yeah, I got home and I was like, oh, did you end up getting any pictures? He's like, yeah, I got a bunch. And now, like, they're all me holding Sydney and pointing out animals to her. And I'm like, oh, he was sneaking pictures all day. And then there's one of me, Sydney, and my mom at the sea lions. So I said that to my mom, like, oh, guess who's been sneaking pictures? But yeah, she seemed like she had a blast, and she kept getting distracted by the funniest things and stuff. But, you know, of course, by the end of it, she was very, very grumpy and ready to go home and nap because, you know, we got there around noon, and usually, like, we try to lay her down for a morning nap, but it's either we didn't have time or she just didn't. I can't remember which one it was. I guess she just didn't nap because that's part of her course. Sometimes she naps, sometimes she doesn't. So yeah, we spent a good couple hours there, and everybody the family got to bond with Sydney a little bit more and stuff, because, you know, we don't, especially my cousin, like, he lives like an hour away from us, so he doesn't really get to come out very often and just hang out and stuff, so he was able to enjoy zoo time with her. And then, of course, it was so funny. We at the end of the, like, because you walk down to the end of the zoo, and then there's like a tram that can take you back if you want to, or you can just walk all the way back, which I think we ended up walking. Not too bad. But we got all the way to the end of the zoo, and there's like a little gift shop down there. And my cousins come out with 2 stuffed animals for Sydney, and then my mom goes in and comes out with a 3rd stuffed animal for Sydney. So she got 3 stuffed animals from the zoo. She got a fennec fox, she got a giraffe, and a sloth. And so she was playing with them throughout the ride back through the park. So yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna drink some more coffee. I feel like my voice is very hoarse right now. Oh, it's his foot. Okay. I was like trying to figure out how he was laying. He likes to tuck himself into the couch. Or like into the side of the couch. Like, it seems like his comfort place. There's like a little corner between our couch and our chase, and he always like tucks himself in there. It's so cute. So yeah. Got to hang out at the zoo, my family got to watch Sydney, and then of course Sydney got some ice cream from her Auntie April. Shared her Dippin' Dots with her, which was funny because I was like, oh, Dippin' Dots, it's gonna be an interesting one because that's like a whole new texture she doesn't know. But then, like, at first she like had a very inquisitive look on her face, and then once it like melted and became ice cream, she was like, ooh, give me more of that. So she got to share some Dippin' Dots with April, and I got to share some too because I was like, hey, you're not feeding her, not me. So yeah, you know, we got home from the zoo, and then we laid Sydney down for a nap, and girl just zonked out like so fast. She was done, and she slept for like a good 2 hours too. I was like, oh yes, knocked her out. And then, like, we kind of just relaxed and did our thing. We were kind of preparing. Oh yeah, that's what I did on Friday. And on Friday, after we got the messages, like we got them before we went to school and stuff like that. So on the way back through, we stopped at the pet store and got supplies for little Zero. We got a leash and collar. We got his dog bowls. Got him a couple of toys. No, wrong color. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's another thing we did on Friday. So we ended up getting back from class a little late because we were tending to that. And then Sunday rolls around and we get up and get moving. So Sydney got to hang out at her grandparents' house while we took this trek out to get the puppy. And we had a pretty uneventful drive, thankfully. On the way there, I was able to work on some of my paint gems. I got through 2 of them on the way there. I thought I was going to get through more because I started multi-placing, but then I was doing one that was a little bit more confetti, so I was like, oh, this is going to take a little bit longer. So I finished it like right before we got there. And then I wasn't able to do them on the way back because, of course, you know, I had a puppy at my lap, or a puppy either in my lap or at my feet, so I was just keeping an eye on him and looking at him because, you know, he's adorable. So yeah, we got out there, and then, of course, like, we had to fight with our, like, payment because, like, she was using Cash App, and we're like, and so we were fighting with Cash App because it wasn't letting us transfer money over. And then it's like, oh, well, you can try Zelle, and then tried setting up Zelle, and it's like, oh, you can only do $5. And we're like, wait, what? Okay. So that ended up not working, and then finally she's like, oh, I can do PayPal too, as long as you do friends and family. I'm like, okay, I can do PayPal. I have PayPal. And so finally got that squared away and all paid for and everything. And then she gave us like a puppy bag that had like his information in it, like his feeding schedule, his vaccinations so far, and everything like that. And so then like came with like a little toy and treats and the food, some of the food that they've been giving him. And so we've been slowly working on migrating our food in with his, and then yeah, and then soon we'll be on just straight art food. So seems like he's enjoying it though, so that's okay. That's a good thing. So yeah, and then we drove back, which, you know, once again was like another 2 hours, and then we ended up stopping. We had to stop a couple times, of course, because, you know, small puppy bladder. We weren't going to make him wait the whole way home to go to the bathroom. So we stopped and he used the bathroom a couple times, and then we had to get gas. And then while we were getting gas, my fiance's dad calls and was like checking our time and stuff like that, and he was like, yeah, we should be back about this time and stuff like that. And so he actually offered to go pick up the boys for us, and we're like, oh, that'd be awesome. So because like we were getting ready to text the boys' mom and be like, so we're gonna be a little late getting the boys, but that ended up not being a problem. So we get back to my in-laws' house, and we got there before the boys did, so that was a good thing. So we had a minute to introduce the puppy to his parents and stuff like that, and in Sydney, because she was like looking at like, what is that? Because I don't think she's ever seen an animal that small, because he's smaller than the cats, because he's only 7 weeks old. So so yeah, so boys, like, they all pulled in, and we're like, oh, let's bring him outside. And so I'm standing in the yard holding the puppy, and then I see, like, I think it was Drake's face first. He goes, oh, Corgi! And then Alex, like, heard him and, like, looked over, and, like, he got the biggest smile on his face and stuff, and the boys were, like, so excited. And they, like, rushed over to me and started petting him and stuff, and, like, oh my god, he's so cute. So it was a nice surprise, and this worked out really well, too, because, like, the original plan was we were going to go out, like, I think on Friday after the boys, well, actually the boys didn't end up being in school, but it was supposed to be when the boys were in school on Friday, or after school on Friday, we were going to go out and get the dog, but this way they get an entire week to bond with them before they go back to their mom's house, instead of only being able to see him for a couple days and then having to go back. So it ended up working out nicely. And then with Alex and his separation anxiety, we were like, well, hopefully this will like curb any sadness he has. But of course, it did. I don't know. It didn't, because like the kid was like crying over his dinner, and it's like, oh my gosh, we brought home a puppy. Why are you crying right now? So yeah. And he also spent like the entire weekend with his mom in a hotel room. So he's like, they were with her 100% this weekend. So we're like trying to get to the bottom of that. Like, why are you so upset right now? Like we made sure we got this puppy here just so like you got something exciting to come back to and stuff. So yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. Nope, she's not asleep. Okay. But yeah, got through that night pretty okay though. And then, of course, first night with the puppy, so we all, like, because it was Sunday night, so we're all like gearing up and getting ready, or got the boys in bed and stuff like that. And well, like, it kind of was worked out the way we did things too, because like Zero was able to explore in phases. So he had the night before, because like the boys were only up for like a couple hours after we got home. So we, like, once they weren't in bed, we had the night to let him explore surroundings here and get used to the space. And then, of course, get used to the cats, too, which, oh my god, the cats. I'll get there, though. So, yeah, he had, like, that first night of just, like, him and us down here, so he was able to explore, get used to the scents and everything like that. And then the next morning, we introduced Sydney into the environment, so he was then, you know, in the space with Sydney, and of course, you know, oh my god, she's a crazy girl. She thinks he went running after her and was like licking her feet and stuff like that, and she thought it was the funniest thing ever, so now she'll like stand there and laugh at him, trying to egg him on to chase her down. It's pretty funny. And then she has to keep trying to step on him. I don't know why. I don't know why. She'll like walk over to him and like put her hand on the couch and lift her foot up to step on him. And I was like, no, don't do that. Like, why are you doing this? He's not a step stool. And then after he had like an entire day with him and Sydney, like then the boys got home from school and stuff like that, and so he had like the new space, so it wasn't super overwhelming with him at first, especially that first night, because you know, as soon as we got home, Sydney went to bed, so it wasn't gonna be a problem there. Brain just blanked on what I wanted to say next. Oh yeah, so oh yes, the cats. There we go. I'm like, I knew there was something I wanted to say. So we are actually pretty impressed with the cats right now, because in my experience with cats, you usually have to like separate them for a little bit and let them get used to scents first before you just kind of like introduce a new animal. That actually didn't have to happen here. Like we introduced him to the cats, and I was like holding him, expecting to have to stand up quickly and, you know, wait for the cats to get barred and stuff like that. Excuse me. But that wasn't a problem. Like the first day, they both kind of like sniffed him, and then we set him down, and the cats just kind of like wandered around him and stuff, and it wasn't a big deal. And so we're like, okay, cool, we don't actually have to worry about this. I'm guessing it's because he is so much smaller than the both of them, so they're like, oh well, we can knock him around. So I think that kind of helped. Of course, now that he's getting feisty and wants to play, Jonesy's been a little bit more hissy, and Shadow's bopped him once, but it was deserved. He was trying to get Shadow to play with him and antagonizing him and stuff, and so Shadow bopped him in the head. So yeah, we didn't have to worry about separating the cats or anything like that, which is nice, because, you know, that was going to be a whole struggle in itself, like, oh, we're going to have to lock the cats in the basement, and yeah, but that wasn't a problem. Oh, I must some ease over there. Oh, is she back down yet? Oh. She might fall asleep yet. these two out of the way. So yeah, my brain just like completely stopped working. This child. You know, this child is always so tired, but she never wants to nap. Let's do some sparklies. A lot of babies in this one. A lot. Okay. So yeah, then Sunday evening, like I ended up not diamond painting at all because I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna want to relax here because, you know, we've been in the car all day and stuff. So I kind of just laid on the couch and watched TV, and that was exactly what I needed. And then I was reminded, like I actually did diamond paint just in the car ride. So yeah, I got all the kids in bed, and then we were able just to enjoy some one-on-one time with Zero and stuff. And yeah, he spent most of the time laying at our feet because he just loves crawling up at our feet. Must feel like it's a safe spot or something. He'll just like tunnel under, like between us and whatever we're sitting at, and just zonk out. He's definitely turning into a daddy's boy because like the other night my fiance was, oh, I missed some stuff from Saturday. Jeez. Oh my god. I was so excited to talk about the puppy. But yeah, he turned into a daddy's boy because he like spent the entire night on Monday underneath his chair while he was gaming and stuff like that. It was so cute. So yeah, stuff I missed on Saturday. So when we got home from the zoo, we did get to relax for a little bit. But then my fiance went over to a friend's house to play a board game. And so it was just me here. And so I was like, ooh, I can take advantage, and I like watched like chick flicks and diamond painted, and it was a really nice relaxing night. I really enjoyed myself. Okay, I guess there wasn't really much to talk about there. I watched Mean Girls, and She's the Man, because those movies are hilarious. Okay, anyways, now I can go back. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. I say this all the time, like, I'm sorry I'm all over the place, and it's like, I'm never gonna get better. Like, I'm always gonna be all over the place, because that's how my brain works. I'm a writer. Okay, so, yeah, and then Sunday night, we obviously are having to crate train him, at least until he's to the point where he will not try to jump off our bed because he's a corgi and he's small and our bed is really high. Like even the cats sometimes miss when they jump up. So is that all of it? No, thought I saw more. So we need to get him used to not jumping off, or being on the bed without jumping off. And then the second thing we need to do is make sure he stops having accidents in the night. Which so far it's been pretty okay. But yeah, so we have him in a crate. And so at first we put the crate up in our bedroom. And we're like, okay, so we'll see how this works. And he just started whining. Like, we figured him being in the room with us would be enough to comfort him and stuff. No, he started whining so loud. We're like, okay. We ended up having to move the crate downstairs into the kitchen so that way, like, he didn't wake up the entire household. And so we did that. And so, like, that first night, because, you know, my brain is, like, it's fixed to wake up at sounds and stuff like that because, you know, Sydney. And so I ended up not sleeping much on Sunday night to Monday morning. And I was exhausted, and it was the worst day to be exhausted because that was the day that's the day I met the writer from Land Before Time. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be exhausted when I'm meeting this guy. Like, this is not cool. And then, so yeah, I got up in the morning, and then I was like, you know those moments when you're so tired that like just the littlest things set you off? Yeah, that was me. Like, I was really frustrated because, like, Sydney kept screaming at Zero, and I was trying to get her to stop, and she kept doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, why are we doing this right now? And, like, I burst into tears because, you know, I was so tired. And so, my fiance came downstairs, and he's like, okay, well, I'm not able to sleep right now anyway, so you go upstairs and lay down. And I was like, but I feel bad. And he's like, no, go upstairs and lay down. I'm like, but I was supposed to get up with her. No, go upstairs and lay down. I'm like, okay. And so I went up and lay down, and I slept for like, I think an hour and a half or something like that. And that was enough to get me feeling better. And then, like, somewhere in the process of me napping, my fiance laid Sydney down and came upstairs, and he brought Zero up with him and laid him in the bed with us, and, like, I woke up with a puppy sleeping next to me, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, that made, like, I felt better after that. I was like, okay, I feel more prepared to handle this day and stuff like that. So got up, showered, got ready, and then we had to rush off because, like, the lunch was, like, at noon. And of course I was, like, running late, and I was like, oh no. And so I texted my friend Tori because she also was doing this. I'm like, oh my god, of course there's, like, construction, so we're running late. And she's like, don't worry, we're still locked outside the building anyways. I'm like, oh, okay, good. So yeah, I get to the building, and we're, like, because it's, like, the alumni building at our college, and it's a beautiful Victorian building. And so I'm just, like, we're all standing outside waiting and just talking, and, you know, I was, like, telling Tori and, of course, my teacher about our day and stuff like that, because, you know, new puppies, so everybody's excited to hear about that. So I was just basically telling everybody about that, and what we've been dealing with and stuff. So, like, the stories from, like, what Sydney's been doing and everything like that. And then we get in the building okay and everything like that. And while they started getting the food prepared and everything, we kind of, because it was a lunch, we sat down, and, like, he did a little introduction of himself, and then he's like, I want to do an introduction with you guys. And so, like, there was 3 English majors there. It was myself, my friend Tori, and then our buddy Reagan. And it was kind of funny, like, it was 3 of us, because, like, oh wow, and because we're all in the same class together, like, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well, so it was pretty funny. So yeah, we did, like, so there's the 3 of us English majors, and then there's, like, 5 communications majors, 5 or 6, something like that. And so we kind of, like, went around and introduced ourselves. We started with us English majors and stuff like that. And when it got to me, like, I told him I'm working on writing my novel, which is terrifying but fun at the same time. And he's like, yeah, as it should be. And then he asked me, like, what was about it, and so I told him a little bit about it, and he's like, well, let me know when you get published, because I want to read that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was it was one of those moments where I was, like, completely starstruck, because this man not only wrote this, like, this movie that was a staple in my childhood, but, like, all, like, the Disney Channel original movies that were staples in my childhood, he also wrote. He wrote Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, and Smart House, and Cowbells, and all, like, those Disney Channel original movies. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Like, I watched all these movies and stuff like that. And so, like, because when I found out he wrote Xenon, I'm like, okay, you gotta tell me, how did you come up with their slang? Because if you've seen Xenon, like, they're high schoolers who live on a space station, and, like, the one gets into trouble. Xenon, the main character, she gets in trouble and gets sent back to Earth as a punishment and stuff like that, and she's never lived on Earth because her parents have been on the space station the whole time. And so, yeah, they have, like, this unique slang. Like, she says, like, cetus lepidus all the time, and, like, a problem major, a problem minor, and stuff like that. And just, like, yeah, I was, like, curious, like, how did you come up with all that? And he said that's all based on constellations, and I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And then he went through his thought process on how he got there, because it's like, well, what would, as living on the space station, what would you see? Like, what would you be used to seeing? And it's like the stars and stuff like that, and that's where the slang comes from. And I'm like, wow, that's like brilliant. It's just so brilliant. So yeah, it was really cool, and like it was very fulfilling. Oh, did you want to get closer? Yeah, it was just like I just imagine like I reacted probably similar to how people react when they meet like stars and stuff like that. And then he was like telling me like, oh, this child, oh my gosh, she's crying upstairs. He was also saying like he like, because there's a couple of the students that are talking about going into editing for their like, after once they're done with their degrees, they want to be in the editing and stuff like that. And then he was like talking about like how editors can be very impressive storytellers and everything like that, because like, you know, the Survivor show, like the show Survivor, like all that, like, you know, they got hours of footage to work with, but they edited it down to create these interesting storylines. And then he's like, oh yeah, and I know a couple of the contestants from Survivor and stuff like that, and they were like saying all this stuff. And like he's like, and then one of them was cast as a villain. He didn't even realize he was a villain, and I was like, what? I was like, I need to know. And then sure enough, he knew like Jonathan, which if you've watched Survivor, you know Jonathan, you know. And apparently he didn't know he was being cast as a villain. But it was so interesting, like, to hear that and that take and stuff. And like, at first he didn't tell us who like the contestants he knew. So when we were like running to get food and stuff like that, I snuck in behind him. I'm like, okay, I need to know which two Survivor contestants do you know? And he's like, well, you probably won't remember these guys because it was from years ago. I'm like, no, I rewatched the entire Survivor series when I was on maternity leave. He's like, whoa. Well, if you're ever on maternity leave, it's 6 months of sitting with a little baby, like, and sleeping most of the time, so, yeah. Either sleeping or feeding, so. But yeah, it was just funny, and it was just such a cool experience, and being able to meet him and talk to him and stuff like that, and just, it's something I'm never gonna forget, that's for sure. Of course, then we got to class, and like we had some little food left over, so we brought it to the class just to see if anybody wanted it, because they were just gonna toss it anyways. So we're like, okay, we'll just do this. And then I told the professor, I'm like, oh, we brought this. And then once class was like just starting, she's like, so you want to repeat the thing about the food? And I was like, oh, left over from the lunch we went to, blah blah. And she's like, no, tell us the full details. I'm like, oh. She's like, who'd you have lunch with? And I'm like, oh yeah. And so I was just saying like, yeah, we had lunch with this guy who, and then she was like asking us about it, and I'm like, it was so cool. It was just really cool. This is something I never would have imagined would happen when I went back to school, you know? So, oh yeah, and then it was just another interesting thing talking to him, like figuring out how he does his characters and stuff like that, because like all of his characters are like he creates are based on real people and stuff like that, like people in his life. They have certain mannerisms and stuff, so it's very interesting. Very interesting. I love it. That's how he was like saying like the difference between all like the dinosaurs and stuff like that, because each one has a very unique personality and stuff. Oh yeah, and then he also said, because he obviously worked with Steven Spielberg a lot, Steven Spielberg apparently is a really cool guy, a really nice guy. But yeah, it was just a really cool situation, a really cool experience, and yeah, I'm still in awe from it, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, this child just up there screaming. So yeah, that was my Monday. And then, so usually my fiance's in the office on Tuesday and Thursdays, but we asked for a pass this week of that because wanted to make sure that Zero stays good with his potty training schedule, which he's doing phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, he's doing phenomenal with it. Did a little pee accident when I first got up this morning, but he let me know he had to go poop, so I got him outside and he did that. And now he's asleep. So yeah, if you're following me on Instagram, you probably already seen pictures of him and seen his adorableness. I think I need to put some more putty in here. So yeah, Tuesday he ended up staying home. He got the okay to work from home this week, so we could do that, and I'm thankful for it because I'm like still kind of like gauging how to take care of Sydney and him at the same time because both require so much attention. And it's like, okay, when I'm taking him out, what do I do with Sydney and stuff like that? But I learned if I just open the door and go outside, she'll just stand at the door and watch. So hopefully she keeps doing that. My poor fiance, I hope he's actually able to nap. Oh, I'm supposed to be getting him up. So yeah, we ended up just being able to spend the whole day together because I didn't have to go to class or anything like that, and just continue working on his routine and stuff like that. You know, I figured this whip and chat would be the one I have like plenty to talk about, but I'm like running out fast. That's surprising. Probably because like most of my stuff is just like adorable puppy stuff, you know. He does spend a lot of time sleeping because he is technically a baby, so he curls up at our feet and sleeps the whole time. Monday night we did do bedtime with the boys with him, so yeah, we determined like he's not gonna sit still for like cuddle time and showtime. So once showtime was over, my fiance texted me and I went upstairs with him and we did cuddle time together, and he like walked all over all of us and stuff like that and helped tuck the boys in and stuff. Oh yeah, so yesterday, because I'm filming on Wednesday because I like waiting till the last minute. I was supposed to film last night, but by the time I realized that I should start, it was 11 o'clock already. I was like, well, that's not happening now. So yeah, oh god, what was I talking about? Oh my god, why did my brain just blank like that? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why my brain just like shuts down on me sometimes. Take a sip of coffee and figure things out. Okay. So, talking about Tuesday. So, I was home all day Tuesday. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about our preteen angst. So Alex he's 11, so he's in that preteen phase right now, and we are feeling it. We are feeling it hard. And like this week is Spirit Week at school, and like part of the preteen angst came in with like, okay, so we were talking about pajama day of all the days. Like we asked him, do you want to wear pajamas to school, like for pajama day? And he's like, no, it makes me look weird and stuff like that. Or it's like, well, everybody's wearing PJs and they're supposed to look weird. Like that's what you do. And then he was like trying to say like, well, I want to wear one of my PJ shirts and then like a pair of my regular shorts. I'm like, well, we're like, well, you can't really do that because that's just like wearing a regular outfit. People are just gonna think you're wearing a less nice or well, yeah, I guess less nice t-shirt. And so he was hemming and hawing about it, and then we found one pair of shorts one of his PJ shorts that he was like, oh wait, yeah, I want to wear those. And so we we were able to get that worked out. Okay, I need to pause for a second because I need to go get my fiance up and resettle my child, and then we will continue. Okay. All good. It's fun now when we wake each other up from nap. It's always with puppy kisses. Just come upstairs and shove Jiro's fake nose in his face and... Okay, so yeah, teenage angst, or preteen angst. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, we were fighting with him with like wanting to wear PJs to pajama day. So we're like, okay. Finally, he came around to it when he realized, like, he remembered he had one pair of PJ shorts, and he was like, oh yeah, because of course, you know, it's October and it's 80 degrees here. Like, what the heck? I'm not okay with this. So we got a week of 80s right now, and of course that's like this week. So he didn't want to, like, he wanted to wear like his nice warm PJ pants, but he couldn't because like it was so hot out and stuff. So yeah, it was just really annoying. So we got that taken care of, and then he got through the school day okay. Apparently he had a headache, so he went down to the nurse for some of his ibuprofen, and everything was fine. They got home and saw the puppy and stuff, and we were very excited. And then I was outside with Zero trying to get him to go to the bathroom after dinner, and the neighbors pull in, so the grandmother was taking care of the girls last night, so I chatted with her for a couple minutes, and I was like, because she, like, of course, you know, the girls rushed over to see Zero and stuff like that, and their grandma came over and met him and stuff too. And so we were like, I was talking to her, I was like, I'm not sure if Anastasia texted you, but we were talking about like getting the kids to get outside for playtime and stuff like that. And she's like, oh yeah, just let me know what the rules are. And I was just like, well, rules are pretty simple. Like, they have both yards to run between and stuff like that. We just, like, the only thing is my fiance's gonna be mowing the lawn, so we just ask the kids don't be in whatever area he's mowing and stuff like that. And so she's like, oh, okay. And then she's like, well, Maple's got a little bit of homework, and then when she's done with that, we'll send them out. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, just have them knock on our door or something. We're not outside. And then my fiance had to mow the lawn last night, so they ended up, like, the boys ended up going out and helping him move some, like, so we took down the pool a couple weeks ago. And we still had, like, the metal, the rods in it from it to, what are you doing? Now you're all awake because I woke you up. But yeah, the metal rods were still like hanging out in the ground around the area where the pool was taken down and stuff. So boys helped pick that stuff up, and then my fiance mowed. And then I hung out in here with little Zero because by that point we had already laid Sydney down, so she was already zonked out. And so, like, yeah. So yeah, we called the boys in about normal time, and then asked them if they had fun, and then Alex was like trying to act like he didn't have fun, and it's like, okay, what, like, it sounded like you were having fun on the trampoline and stuff like that. He's like, well, yeah, that part was fine, but then Lily was listening to music, and I didn't want her to, like, or he's like, yeah, she was listening to music instead of playing the game I wanted to play, and it's like, and then so once again we had to explain to him, like, okay, you can't get mad at people when they don't want to do the thing that you want to do. Like, that's not how it works. And so, like, he was trying to be grumpy about the whole time out there. And it's like, no, you spent most of the time on the trampoline. Trust me, I'm sitting at the table. I can hear you. I knew where you were most of the time. And so, like, he's trying to act like it ruined the whole entire time he was outside. And I was trying to explain to him, like, you know, you can't let one little occurrence ruin an entire like time. It's like, yeah, that this little thing happened at the end that annoyed you, but don't say that, like, the whole entire time was bad now because of it. It's not, that's because, I mean, then you're just gonna be miserable all the time at that point. And so since we talked to him and he, like, kept fighting, like, he kept arguing back with us, trying to be right and stuff like that, it's like, no, stop. Like, you realize we have better conception of time, and we know, like, we are keeping an eye on, like, and we tell them, like, yeah, we don't have an eye on you 24/7 when you're out there, but we do keep eyes on you. We have, like, we know where you are, we know what you guys are playing and stuff, so we can tell. And so, like, he got all bent out of shape because we were, like, telling him, or we were telling him it was wrong essentially in his mind. And so I'm like sitting down here with Zero while they're getting, there it is, while they were getting bedtime going and stuff like that. And I was like, well, and of course, you know, since it was 80 yesterday, I was sweating and stuff. So I asked my fiance, I'm like, it's okay if I just sit out bedtime. I'm very, like, feel very gross right now, and I don't want to be like between the two of them and stuff. And he was like, yeah, that's okay. And then I asked him how Alex was doing upstairs, because usually when he is in situations like this, like he either gets upset and starts crying because he got talked to, or he like, oh no, there's really no other. He basically just gets upset and stuff like that. And apparently he was copping some serious attitude while he was upstairs, because like my fiance asked him to go like make his bed first, because basically we don't like having the boys in the same room at the same time, because they don't listen. When I say like, hey, your sister is sleeping in this room here with our door cracked open, so you need to keep it down. And so they always end up like talking in the bathroom, and it's always louder than, because it's echoey in there and stuff. So so we try to keep them in separate rooms. So one will go and make their bed first, and the other will do bathroom stuff first. But of course, you know, instantly he ignored that and went right into the bathroom and was like messing around with stuff and everything like that. So copping attitude, and so it got to the point of, okay, you need to adjust the attitude, otherwise you're going right to bed. Oh, another thing that I probably should have mentioned. So right now we're dealing with early bus schedules for both of them, because band is 2 days a week and chorus is 2 days a week. And so with the early, Tuesday was Drake's day to get up early to get on the bus, and Alex asked if he could get up early as well so he could spend some time with the puppy. And we said it was okay, but it's not going to be okay. What are you doing? Daryl. Hey. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get it. Get it. Okay. See if I can do this. Yeah, so it's not gonna be okay again because the attitude that we got copped. So, grr. You might hear puppy growls because I am playing tug of war with them under the table here. Good thing I can diamond paint with one hand. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. So after the threat of going straight to bed happened, he did calm down. And yeah, everybody got in bed okay, and all was good. So yeah, it was just one of those nights. It's like, oh my god, we can't catch a break, can we? And of course, like after that, I was like, okay, I had to do a homework assignment, because like I have an online class, and so I check for the week at the start of the week, and because, you know, like that's how the syllabus is broken up, it's week by week. And like for some reason my teacher has everything due at the beginning of the week, and I'm like, oh crap, I have to do this. And so it's like, okay, hey, what are you doing? So yeah, I was just like, so I always end up like rushing to do an assignment and stuff like that, but thankfully it was just a blog post, so I had to do, like, I just did a book review. I don't think it was a very good one, but I did one. I was trying not to make it too plot summary, but you know, yeah, I was just like, yeah. But I finished it at like 11:30 last night. I was due at midnight, so I got it done. But no, I don't know where that went. Oh, there. But now I'm realizing I need to, what are you doing? But now I'm realizing I need to, like, look a little bit, like I need to look 2 weeks in advance to, keep up with this class. I might just, like, go through and just, like, do all my assignments, honestly, just to get it done and over with. it's funny too, because she's like, oh, well, don't go ahead too far because then you won't get feedback. And it's like, well, we're not getting feedback anyways because she hasn't graded anything. So I'm like, well, at this point, might as well just finish it out. It probably will take a weekend. Grr, grr, grr. So yeah. I hope the mic just picked that up. Get it, get it, get it. You little vicious, so vicious. So yeah, I ended up having to do that, and so I ended up like not starting diamond painting until like, I mean, I was diamond painting earlier in the day, but I wasn't able to diamond paint until like later on, which was annoying because like I planned on filming this last night and a couple other videos because I have to do my month in review still. And I have to do my post review on Live Potion because I did finish that one. Hey, you rolled away. So, blink. So yeah, that's what I wanted to get done last night and didn't. And then of course we also have to get the dishes done because, you know, dishes are out of control right now. And I had class today and there's just so much going on. Maybe we can get the boys to keep an eye on their sister and the dog while we do dishes or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah, and then tonight we're going over to my in-laws' house for dinner. My fiance's sister has her two boys because, you know, they're also from divorced parents at this point. Yeah, my computer is very unhappy right now. So we don't get to see them very often anymore because the dad is like fighting really hard to get like opposite scheduling from our boys for some reason. Well, we know the reason, but you know, I'm not gonna air the dirty laundry out here. So yeah, basically she'll have the boys tonight, and we're wanting to meet the puppy and stuff like that, and so we're gonna go over to my in-laws' house for dinner and stuff like that. And yeah, because like they're trying to figure out a way, like, okay, I can go get the boys and then come over there and stuff like that. And it's like, well, we can travel with him. He's small. He works well in the car. And then like we were saying like, yeah, and he's mostly potty trained already. Like he's very good about letting us know when he needs to go potty, and he's very good off leash too. So like if we let him roam around the backyard over there, because they have a huge backyard, they'll be fine. And in reality, he can't outrun us. His legs are so tiny. So we're like, yeah, we can bring him over there, and everybody can have we can let them all play together, and we'll do dinner and stuff like that. Arr. You're so cute. You are so cute. So, what's coming up this week? Friday, I will plan on getting my month in review for September posted. I have everything down here to film it, so I just need to actually film it. Maybe I'll try to squeeze that out here soon. Depends on what's going to happen with Sydney and stuff like that right now. But yeah, month in review will be posted on Friday. He's distracting. And then I think I need to start making my schedule for next week, but it's going to be dependent on stuff because the Diamond Art Club released this past weekend. I got 3 paintings. I was able to get 3 paintings, and I'm very excited about that. So, and I also got a pen. Actually, I technically got 2 pens because Enablers Out posted their random sale yesterday, so I was like, well, I guess I need to get this. So, err. So yeah. Gotcha. It's like I'm hooking a puppy fish. Anyways, sorry, I don't want to get distracted, but he's just so cute. Yes, you are. So yeah, I'll figure out what videos I'm going to do for early next week as well. I did have to shift around my schedule a little bit because things got a little bit delayed. You were supposed to get a couple of videos because on Sunday we were supposed to get up the the unboxing for the mystery kit because I started that October, well, I didn't start it yet technically, but you know, I plan to start it October 1st, and I'm gonna do my time lapse for it and stuff like that. And then, you know, once we got home with the puppy and stuff and we were like distracted by him, we totally forgot. So yeah, that ended up going up Monday, which was supposed to be a day for our post review. So yeah, one less video this week than I was hoping to do, but we'll get back on schedule. I've learned I can't plan out for like weeks in advance anymore because you never know what you're gonna get in between then. So yeah, but yeah, I will get the next week figured out, and yeah. So yeah, that should be it for this video. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And throw me a comment. Let me know, how was your weekend? Did you guys do anything fun? Are you jealous of my cute little adorable little puppy? Sorry, he's very distracting. And if you're not already subscribed here and you like diamond painting content, then just go ahead and hit this little subscribe button down here and then hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. Generally, WIP and chats are posted on Wednesdays, but things like small shop hauls, post reviews, unboxings, those are posted at random, so you definitely want to hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.